So I think what inspired me to take action came back from my childhood. With my parents, we've always been outdoor. I was sailing as a kid, we were camping. And then also the way they lived their life. My mom had the veggie patch. I was never interested when I was a child, but then I think it builds up in your mind. I think also being a parent makes you want to have the best future for your children so that they can grow in the most natural environment and that they become really fulfilled and happy in life. So just as a rough summary, in the home we're trying to save water. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're trying to use as much cloth nappies as possible, and now she's nearly without nappies. We are nearly good with that. We have 2 worm farms on our balcony. We have a small veggie patch. What else do we have? We try to turn on the lights as much as possible. Try not to use too much of the aircon and the heater. Try to dress appropriately depending on the weather. We're trying also to recycle a lot. Everything we can, we try to recycle or reuse it, repurpose it. With my daughter, I try to do as many art and craft I can using stuff that people might throw in the bin. Sometimes even I take stuff from the bin room. Like a big cardboard box, my daughter can paint very big murals. That's pretty cool. So we started using a bucket in the sink. Every time I have to rinse my hand or wash veggies or pour water that I use to cook eggs, for example, I save that water and we use it in the veggie patch or in the worm farm. It's really handy in summer when you don't have much water. It's saving a lot for your family. If we make tea, the tea leaves go in the worm farm, obviously. That's reducing waste and that's feeding the worms, which really love it. So in the kitchen, I've stopped using the sponge that you find at the supermarket. I really was upset throwing sponges all the time. So I got this option which you can wash in your washing machine. So I'm really happy with that. This little box I keep here to put the veggie scraps, or for example you get a tea bag. I opened it so that the worms can access it easily, but that paper breaks down as well. I take the other bigger box in the fridge, and this one is full now, just to show you the process. I empty it here. It has lots of goodies for the worms. And then this is just the easy process. I take a big bowl. I empty everything in here. And then I take just a little scale, kitchen scale. This is already set up so that it has the weight of the bowl. And I look at how much quantity I have, 1 kilo, 400 grams. Just have a pencil here. And I write in here how much kilo I have, 1.4, and the day. Today is Thursday. And I have 2 worm farms, so 1 column for one of the worm farms, so that I know in which worm farm I put how much kilos. And then we just go outside and we feed the worms. As much as we can, we try to buy in bulk. It's really an easy process. You just get some jar, second-hand, you bring them to the store, they weigh it, they write the weight at the top or at the bottom, and then you just fill it in, and then you go to the counter and you pay whatever you want to buy. So for toilet paper, we go with a brand that doesn't have a plastic wrap around it, and then we can use this one. Either you can rip it and put it in the worm farm, or we use it for art and craft actually, because it's very pretty paper. It comes in lots of different colors with lots of different shapes, and actually they are also very funny, so there is always a joke on the paper. And then the inside, at the moment we keep it, we cut it in half. We cut it in half and we fold it on each side to make seedling pots. And so we can grow seedlings and plant them in the garden. or sell it to raise money for the future community garden. We keep the cloth nappies by the toilet for my daughter to use. We also have these little wipes, so we don't use as much as possible. We did use some, but when we are at home, we don't use disposable wipes. We use cloth wipes you can wash in the washing machine. We keep a bucket in the shower just to save the water. I was very frustrated showering and having to wait for the water to be warm enough for the shower. So we save the cold water in that bucket. We use it in the garden or in the warm farm again, or just to wash some toys or things like that. And then we try not to buy soaps that come in a plastic bottle. We try to use bar soaps and also shampoo in bar, just to try and keep avoiding using plastic bottles. So with the cloth nappies, it was very daunting at first because it seems very complicated, but it's really not. So what happens with this brand, we had to try a few brands to know which one we preferred. You have two different sizes of inserts. You clip them here, and then you take what they call a pocket. You clip it here as well. And that's it, that's all you have to do. I think everything I showed today is pretty easy to put in place in your own home. You just need to find one thing you want to start with, one little change, one little step towards sustainability. So we're trying with art and craft to use as much cardboard, recycled items, cork, plastic bottle caps, anything like that. You can really be creative and make nice art and craft. This one we just made a puzzle to teach her the shapes, and we just used very easy two cardboard things stick next to each other, and she painted the inside, so she was already also very engaged and she really loves playing with that. She knows all our shapes now, at least those. Doing it in your own home, it's a very good start. The next step also is to speak about it as wide as you can to your friends, your family, your colleagues, and try to implement those small steps in their home, in your workplace.